In Asia, progress can be rare for the LGBT community, but one place is changing that.
Same-sex marriage became legal in Taiwan in May 2019, and that's generally, well, it's a historic first in Asia.
72 countries still criminalise same-sex activity, including Asian nations like Myanmar, Indonesia, and Malaysia.
Brunei is set to begin imposing death by stoning as a punishment for gay sex and adultery.
Traditional values is so often used to push back against LGBT rights. In fact, I would say over the last 2 decades, that's really been central to the advancement of LGBT rights internationally. And there's been strong pushback as to whether LGBT rights are part of human rights at all, or belong in the terrain of tradition, custom and culture.
Same-sex marriage is a new concept. The Netherlands became the first country in the world to legalise it in 2001. The United States in 2015, Australia in 2017. But each movement had to overcome a unique set of obstacles.
The most important factors for a successful LGBT rights campaign always depends on the context.
In 1949, following a civil war that saw the Chinese Communist Party take control of the mainland, supporters of the Kuomintang Party fled to the island of Taiwan. Martial law reigned over the island until 1987, when forces of democratization came into full swing.
Everybody basically says that the LGBT movement started to pick up in the 1990s. There's an activist called Che Jiawei who filed a local application to marry a same-sex partner as early as 1983. I mean, obviously that was unsuccessful, but he brought it up again in the Constitutional Court in 2001. And after that, 2001, you start to have more and more arguments around, public debate around same-sex and marriage equality in Taiwan.
Despite finding democratic progress, Taiwan was losing support internationally. In 1971, the United Nations shifted its allegiance to the Chinese Communist Party. Taiwan had to prove they had a right to exist and show the world they weren't to be ignored.
The credit needs to go to the activists in Taiwan who have been so strategic and so thoughtful in this campaign.
The Taiwan Tongzhi Hotline Association was the first LGBT organization in Taiwan. The organization started as a call service, but grew into something much more significant.
I have been in the movement, actually it's already almost 20 years. So I've seen a lot of progress and changes in the Taiwan society. We just work together with other organizations to form a coalition called the Marriage Equality Coalition Taiwan. So we work as a coalition. We get support from international foundations. Based on this, we just developed our strategy campaign, big rallies. Like the biggest one is about 250,000 people to show their support of the same-sex marriage.
The Marriage Equality Commission had to wrestle public support from a strong Christian opposition. Advertising campaigns were rolled out with the slogan, "We will mature, Taiwan will be better." This message of progress resonated with the people of Taiwan, all the way to the very tip-top of Taiwanese politics, and the island's first female president, Tsai Ing-wen.
The one tweet that she made, which I wrote down just because I thought it was so striking, was she said, "Today we have a chance to make history and show the world that progressive values can take root in East Asian society." I feel that it does have resonance. Now, it remains to be seen exactly how that will play itself out, but it's certainly, being the first country, it's likely to lead to progressive developments elsewhere.
I want the next generation, they can just be who they want to be, and they don't need to be afraid of being rejected or being bullied or being discriminated just because of their gender identity or sexual orientation or gender expression. Yeah, but there are still many things to need to be achieved, and we still need to work for this.
Reporting for RMIT, I'm Oliver Lees.